Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mission Report, the Nintendo News Show. This is episode number 34. My name is James, and today I have 5 different items that I want to talk about. The very first one is that Nintendo, just earlier today, announced 2 brand new Nintendo Switch 2 bundles. Both of these bundles are going to release sometime this year. We don't know exactly when, but as far as the contents, they're going to be pretty similar. They're both going to obviously include the Nintendo Switch 2 console and a 3-month Nintendo Switch Online subscription. They're also going to include one of 2 games, and then this is where they start to differ a little bit. The first one is going to include Mario Kart World, and that one is going to be $550 in the US. So that's $50 more than the original Mario Kart World bundle from launch that did not include the Nintendo Switch Online subscription. And then there's also going to be one that includes Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, and that one is going to be $530 in the US. As I already said, the release date for these is a little bit unclear. We haven't seen anything exact from Nintendo yet. I do know that these prices and the price that they say that you'll be saving with the bundle is based off of the September 1st price raise. So, I mean, September 1st is only in 6 days. So, I don't think we're going to see these bundles on the market before then. Another thing to take into account is that Nintendo Switch Sports Resort comes out October 22nd. So I think it's pretty much impossible that we see that bundle before that. So the Mario Kart World bundle might be available a little bit sooner. Otherwise, I would expect the Nintendo Switch Sports Resort bundle to be available October 22nd. Sorry, really itchy today. All right, number 2. The Nintendo Today app got a new update. Real quick, if you've never used the Nintendo Today app, I would recommend going and checking it out. I think it's pretty cool. It's how I get probably 90% of the news and stuff that I talk about on this show. And it's pretty fun. And they'll have they have different themes and fun stuff in there. Lately, they've been releasing different kind of tips and tricks and stuff for games like Super Mario Sunshine and different Fire Emblem games, and they'll have information on characters for like upcoming games and stuff too. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there that you might enjoy if you are a hardcore Nintendo fan. As for the update to the app, you can now choose multiple themes and choose which themes will show up at random when you open the Nintendo Today app. And if you've used the app before, you might say that like this was kind of already a thing. It was sort of already a feature. Before, you had the ability to choose your favorite game series, and those games that were selected as your favorites determined what could possibly show up as a random theme. Now they've been separated, so something can be your favorite without being a potential theme that would show up when you open the app. So not a huge change there, and I think that they use your favorite games to determine like which news items to like present to you first and stuff. So that's a cool change, I guess. As far as I can tell, they didn't add any new themes either. The available themes right now are Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, Pikmin, Kirby, Donkey Kong, and Fire Emblem in that order. And so the 3 that I chose, I think you can choose as many as you want. I chose Mario, Zelda, and Pikmin. And as far as themes that I was a little surprised are not in there. I thought with a new Star Fox game coming out this year and them seeming to be kind of like on a Star Fox kick, I would have liked for them to have Star Fox available as a theme. even if it's just like pictures and stuff or the ships. I think that would be really cool. Um, a little disappointing, but not super surprising that there are no Metroid themes. And then another set of themes that I think could be pretty cool would be the anything from like Super Smash Bros. Whether it be like characters fighting or a character like with an item or like doing a final smash or even like the Smash Ball or cover art or anything like that from Super Smash Bros. I think those could make good themes as well. Number three, there are some brand new additions to Nintendo Music. Some tracks from SimCity, which originally released for Mac and PC in 1989 and then came to Super Nintendo in 1991, have been added. Um, they added 21 tracks for a total of 23 minutes. And then also, as always, they have added some stuff to the Mario Kart World collection. And this group is called Free Roam with Mario Kart 8. And I didn't go in and look to see what all this includes or the runtime or anything like that. But we can assume that these are tracks from Mario Kart 8 that are now also playable in Mario Kart World that for some reason need to also be in the Mario Kart World section of Nintendo Music. Number 4, they've been adding some new missions and rewards to Nintendo Switch Online for a couple different games. I didn't look into this a whole bunch because I'm largely unfamiliar with Nintendo Switch Online missions and rewards, but it seems kind of like this is Nintendo's take on a trophy system, which I'm kind of fine with that. I think they've said repeatedly that they don't want to have a platform level trophy system. So I think having it connected to Nintendo Switch Online is fine. And I do think it's interesting that they usually put something in there of once you get all of their achievements or whatever, you get something, whether it be like a little icon or anything like that. The games that they've recently added stuff to are Splatoon 3 and Fire Emblem Three Houses, which they've done this no doubt to increase interest in Splatoon Raiders and Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. So I'm largely unfamiliar with Nintendo Switch Online missions, but I might look into that a little bit. I might not. They're not super interesting to me, but they might become interesting to me if they were to put them in a game I care about. All right, so that's all for the news, which means all that's left is for me to talk about what I've been playing over the last week. I have finished my replay of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, and I didn't think I had played this long, but it looks like I played about 20 hours, and I thought it was great. Obviously, this is a classic game, and I do. I was kind of ready to be done by the time I got to the end. More specifically, when you go into the dark world and there are they call them like level 1, level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. By the time I got to like level 7, I was pretty ready to be done. I think the reason for that is that I played it over about 4 weeks and I wasn't looking anything up. I was trying to just kind of figure it out as I went. And I think if I were to tighten that up a little bit and instead play it over the course of about 1 week, and um and I think I would have like been able to remember what to do a little bit better and that kind of stuff. So I think just kind of playing it over such a spread out amount of time kind of slowed it down a little bit for me. But overall, I had a really great time with it. I understand why this is people's favorite 2D Zelda game, or really people's favorite Zelda game to begin with at all. So, I've also been replaying Super Mario Sunshine. I replay this game pretty much every year, and what spurred my interest recently was that it was added to Nintendo Switch Online. And although I'm not playing the Nintendo Switch Online version, maybe I should have, just to give me a little bit more to talk about here. I still really, really love this game, and I'll probably have more to say about Super Mario Sunshine in the coming weeks. All right, and then finally, I have actually started Splatoon Raiders. I started it last night. I only got to play actually for a little bit before I had to go to bed. I played for probably about an hour, and I got through probably most of the tutorial. I think for the most part, it plays pretty well. I think the Salmonids are super funny and ugly enemies. The main thing kind of that stuck out to me last night when I was playing, though, was that the default controls felt a little bit clunky to me. The and I ended up turning off the motion controls. The default controls, you can aim like left. As far as aiming, you can look left and right with the right stick, but you can't look up and down with the right stick, which seemed really odd to me that you were required to use the tilt controls to look up and down when you're aiming. Um, and so I think, I don't know, there might be a way to have it like find there might be a way to have both on, but I when I was looking at it last night, I quickly just decided to turn them off, and that gave me the option to aim anywhere with the right stick. And that was strange to me. I think that motion controls can do really well in some form of aiming. I think back to like Breath of the Wild, where the fine tune aiming, it was pretty insensitive, and so you could use it to like fine tune your aiming like perfectly, and I thought that was great. But I don't think I like it as a primary form of aiming like they did here. It's possible that later on in the game I'll feel like um that I need to turn it back on, that I'm missing out or something, but I'll let y'all know um if I get to that point. And I imagine that I'll have more to say on Splatoon Raiders next week. And that's pretty much it. That's all that I have for today. In the comment section, please let me know what you think of these items I've discussed. What have you been playing this week? As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next mission.